now tuning in to a Light Room podcast.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all know what it is. Your boy Swag Pack Shack.
It's your boy Triple OG RDE.
And y'all know we got Durante from Lions Den Legal up in the house. You know what I'm saying? So before we get to it, make sure y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Did we say share?
They know, but y'all know.
Y'all better share that
Y'all
thing.
better share it.
Let's get
Otherwise, I ain't gonna even go that route.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So today, we got our boy Durante in here. As we said, Lions Den Legal. We brought him in because I have a few questions myself. I just want to know why they always messing with us. Why they always messing with us? I'm sick of the tickets. I'm sick of having to go to court and all this stuff. Man, one time I got pulled over in my Durango. This was a few years back. I got pulled over in my Durango. As y'all know, the Durango was a V6.
V6.
The cop pulled me over for aggressive accelerating. And I was like, what the hell is that? And especially in a V6, this big ass heavy V6. Like, how am I accelerating too aggressively? And I'm like, because it got a little muffler on it, made a little bit of noise. You thought I was trying to race somebody or something? I was at a light. I just pulled off. That was it. Why they always messing with us, man?
Man, it's a lot going on, to be honest with you. But with police, because I used to prosecute as well. So as a prosecutor, you interact closely with the police and when they pull people over and things like that. But typically, when police, as a defense lawyer, I've seen as police pull you over, it's usually a gateway to, let me see if there's anything more. Right?
Okay.
Is this person committing a crime? Are they all the way legit with their license and stuff like that? Is there an opportunity for me to search their car and they have something illegal in the car, right? So stuff like that happens, but basically it boils down to you're being profiled.
And I was just about to say the same
That's
thing,
it.
just profiling.
Right. That's it. It's just profiling all day long. And that profiling gives officers the access to try to build a case, essentially, sometimes. In some situations.
That makes sense. And like they see this marble wrap Durango.
Oh, yeah.
And then they hear a little bit of rumble. I mean, it wasn't even loud, honestly. Did you think the Durango was loud?
I mean, for a Durango, it was kind of like.
Okay, all right. It was all right, but still, aggressive acceleration. You got hit with that same ticket.
I got hit with the
wow.
same thing in the same area. And I was just like,
chances?
how? Can somebody please explain to me? I try to be respectful.
Absolutely.
First thing I've always learned was, you get pulled over, respect the cops.
Sure.
Respect them. Don't give them a reason to want to go more.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, it's just like, all right, you pulled me over, let all the windows down, turn all the interior lights on, all that good stuff.
Right.
And he comes up and I guess he was, either he was mad today or whatever. And he was like, why I pulled you over? And I was like, no, I don't. Don't sass me, but you asked me a question. So what? No, I don't know why you pulled me. Is there any weapons in the car? Yes. Step out the car. Huh? All right.
Yeah.
All right. I see where this is going.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
it's just one of those things where, I play the role, but then at some point you just got to stop and realize, okay, what's my rights?
Right.
I don't want to be that guy because, everybody knows their rights.
Yeah.
I know the law.
Every time.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know the law. That's why I have attorneys.
That's a lot. That's a lot to learn.
I didn't go to law school. When they have a whole school for something, you don't know it.
Yeah.
You're not a nurse. You're not a doctor. You're not a lawyer. Listen, I didn't go to law school. I don't know the law, so I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you and tell you I know.
No,
so I'm just going to follow it because at the end of the day, I know that if something is not right, I can get justice other ways.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, when a cop pulls you over, he has the authority to lock you up, whether it's justice or unjustified.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I want to go home.
For sure.
If I got to go downtown for a little bit, at the end, we can figure all of that logistic stuff out.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I want to go home.
Right.
I ain't trying to end up on the news. I don't want to have a movement in my name and my honor. I don't want none of that.
We don't need
I don't want to be a
that.
hashtag.
Right. I'm not trying to be a hashtag.
Absolutely.
And that's where we come in at because a lot of people, especially in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, for sure.
The cops, you can't have a nice car.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
And even it's the Lambos, the Ferrari, anybody that is into cars, they are targeting you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I hate that because it's like, well, damn, what do we do?
Yeah.
We can't meet up in a parking lot and just hang out. Like, you bring your car, I bring my car, you bring your car.
Absolutely.
And then we bring, some other friends' cars.
Right.
They're gonna come. You can't be here.
Right.
We're not doing nothing.
Right.
We're not doing anything wrong.
Absolutely.
But then you always got that one friend that knows the law.
Yep.
That ends up getting everybody in trouble.
Absolutely.
And so
always one.
So is from a professional aspect of it, in situations like what is your take? Like, do you say, hey man, listen, play it cool, get through it, be able to go home? Or do you say, no, stay your ground and we can rumble it out other different ways? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I personally think, and y'all let me know what y'all think, comment below. I personally think a lot of the cops don't know the law.
I've seen that as well. Absolutely.
You know, so how are you gonna protect something that you don't know?
That's true. First and foremost, I'll say with you getting stopped, letting down the windows, cutting on interior lights, that's textbook. Perfect. Continue to do that, especially people who have tint on windows. Let all your windows down. Make sure you guys out there let your windows down and make sure the officers can see what's in the car. Because chances are, if they can't, it's a safety hazard for them, right?
Yeah.
They want to make sure that there's no surprises or anything like that. So technically, they can ask you to step out of the car if they feel some apprehension as it relates to that. So that's, first and foremost. But good job as it relates to that. I tell clients to do that all the time.
See, I do right sometimes.
Right. But, my thing is, and I tell clients this all the time, and I do different seminars with regard to knowing your rights and stuff like that as well, but survive the encounter. If the police officer is a jerk or, not being professional in what he's supposed to do, get his information, make a complaint. What that does is build up, complaints against the officer in their file and things like that. So if they have any other disciplinary issues, then there's already documentation.
Like a paper trail.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I think where we get off is that, or typically with clients or whatnot, we don't report it, right? We just let it slide because in the moment we're heated and, ticked off about it or whatever. But after a while, it's like, okay, cool. I just want to get this over with. I'll pay the ticket and keep it moving. But we have to document this stuff because if we're documenting it, then, if a police officer has an incident where a shooting or anything like that,
First thing
they have to go back to it. Right. Like, well, wait, this officer's been, a jerk to a lot of people or whatever. So maybe there's something there as it relates to this. Maybe this officer doesn't need to be a police officer any longer.
Put him on desk duty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, things like that are very important as it relates to that. And then also, a number of times clients are always like, well, he didn't read me my rights and stuff like that. And typically Miranda doesn't happen unless you're being arrested and questioned, right? So for all you guys out there, just forget, the whole rights things as far as being pulled over or anything like that.
Just follow the rules.
They're going to give you a ticket. It happens.
You can go to court.
Absolutely.
I know I always try to, when they come up to the window, I usually have my license in my hand.
Good.
And I have a smile on my face, even though I'm pissed the hell off. I have a smile. I'm like, hey, officer, how you doing today? God bless. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, here's my license. Is there anything else you may need? And they're like, do you know why I pulled you over? No, but I'm interested in knowing. I was probably speeding or doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. But, I try to make them smile, be happy, because that way I feel like if I'm in a good mood, it'll put them in a better mood, and then there's less chance that I get a ticket.
Sure.
So I ain't trying to. I'm trying to go home to my babies. I ain't trying to. No.
So I gotta play devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
So I know somebody's out there that's probably gonna leave a comment below. Y'all like that?
Comment below.
Right. Let's say they get pulled over.
Yeah.
Actually, I had this. I'm gonna talk about that next, but let's say they get pulled over and they file the complaint, right? Somehow, some way, that officer finds out that I filed a complaint.
Sure.
Now they're harassing me. I can file another complaint. Like we're gonna go through logistics. We're gonna go through the chain of command or whatever. But for some reason, this officer is still able to get me.
Sure.
Pull me over for anything.
Sure.
To the point that now it's getting more aggressive, and I fear my life because at the end of the day, I mean, he has a weapon.
Right.
I mean, I got one too, but he has a weapon. At the end of the day, we all know police officers stick together.
Yeah. Of
so
course.
if Officer A say, John Boy was a dick or whatever, and then Officer B shows up, he's gonna follow what Officer A say.
Right.
So it's 2 against 1 at that point.
Sure.
So that's why, especially like being in a custom car world, things of that nature, it's sad that we now have to protect ourselves as far as getting dash cams and 360 cams and things of that nature to record all of this. But what do you do in a case of, I followed the steps.
Sure.
I filed the complaints.
Right.
We on complaint number 4.
Okay.
Why is this officer still able to, is that the time where you say, I need to hit up Lions Den?
Absolutely.
And we need to go after this dude?
Absolutely.
And, things of that nature. Because a lot of people are under the assumption of being scared. Because I've seen the TV shows.
Sure.
Tyler Perry. Shout out to Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry is good at this. He basically plays out these scenarios where the cop is a bad cop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I filed the complaint. I did the restraining order.
Right.
People can do what they want to do.
Sure.
But I know a lot of people, especially in the car community, it's like, I don't want to take, like you said, I don't want to take that time to forget it, man. Just pay the ticket and keep it moving.
Sometimes that's the easiest way and less stressful.
So. Yeah, it is. It is. To that point, though, if the officer continues harassment, then it becomes a liability issue.
Okay.
Not only for the officer, but for the agency that the officer works for.
Okay.
Because the agency has been put on notice, this officer has this aggressive behavior. At least in this example, 3-4 times. Right. So if they've not done anything to discipline this officer, to move this officer to a new duty or position or something like that, then it becomes an issue because now this officer is creating a situation where you're stressed out, you're under duress, you're always watching your back to see if this guy's going to harass you. So, now we're talking about a civil lawsuit. And we're not talking about just, again, suing the officer for their, money or whatnot. We're talking about suing, the government, so to speak, in that situation. So the government has deep pockets. So, sure, officer, continue to harass me, but we're going to take it, to you.
See, man, I wish I knew you when I was in college. Because, like, real story. My wife can attest to this. So I had a 97 Honda Accord, right? Everybody had the Accord, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This was 2007, 2006, 2007. Jeezy had just dropped his album. It's going crazy. All the songs. I got the system. I got the rims. I got the lights. I got everything, right?
Hidden.
It was this one officer. She worked for Statesboro Police Department. I don't know if I should have said that, but it is what it is. She worked for them, right? And she pulled me over once. Right? No big deal. She pulled me over again. No big deal. She never wrote me a ticket, though. She would just always pull me over.
Right.
And then one day, I had my wife in the car with me, and she pulled me over again. This day, she was like, who's the passenger, and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. So she's doing her investigation or whatnot. And from that point, every time she saw my car, she would pull me over. Like, she literally got behind me.
She had a crush on you, sir.
She did.
That's what it sounds
That's
like.
what it was. She had a crush on me. But
That's
then I
what it
think
sounds like.
it's one of those things where people, to say, when somebody else got you, that's when everybody wants you. So she figured I was taken, so she was like, nah, I want him. But she would never talk to me. Granted, she wasn't my type, but we ain't gonna go down that road. But yeah, so she would harass me. Like, I got pulled over for turning right on green.
Jeez.
How you get pulled over for turning right on green?
Wow.
She literally, I pulled you over because you ran that light. The light was green. Oh, was it? I'm sorry. That was it. Have a good day. Really? Really? I think I got pulled over by this officer a total of, I think, like 12, 13 times.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden she vanished.
She probably got transferred or desk duty, or maybe somebody else complained about her harassing them.
Listen, I don't know, but that is one of those things, and that's why I was like, I understand why people say they hate the police, but anybody out there that knows me know, like, I have a crap ton of police officer friends.
Me too.
Same.
And it's not necessarily an all bad thing. It's, you got to know what to do, how to do it, and there's a time and a place for everything.
Definitely a time and a place.
So, like, a lot of the times when guys are meeting up at these parking lots, they don't take a chance to look around and see that there's no soliciting, none of this in that particular parking lot, because a lot of these parking lots are private property.
Right.
So, taking a look at that, and officers are just out there to do their job. Like, every day we wake up to go do a job, they got to wake up and go do the same.
That's it.
But I hate to hear, the good officers having to encounter the asshole public people based off of their experience from an asshole officer.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things where I feel like us being in the car community, we should influence more and try to put more of a positive aspect, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I done got to the point now to where if I go to a car meet and there's not a police officer there, I'm not staying.
That's fair.
It's for me. It's to the point that I don't even drive my car through Atlanta unless
Oh,
I'm
no.
going to a car show. I'm not.
Oh, wow.
I'm not doing none of that because
Nah, come on, man, be real with them. You ain't driving through Atlanta unless you got police escort.
you gotta have a police escort.
yeah.
Y'all don't know.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
better check out my social media with that police escort from that one show, Dubai in Atlanta.
Dubai in Atlanta.
Yes,
Nice.
sir.
But yeah, nah, that was pulled in with the police, and I was just like, wow.
You have to.
How do you top that though? But
You have to.
so, but it's literally one of those things where back in the day when we was growing up, you had the Nopi shows, and you had I ain't gonna show you my age, so we ain't gonna talk about that one. But you had the Nopi shows, and you had all these shows that everybody was just able to go and just have a real dope time,
Absolutely.
real cool time.
Absolutely.
Times have changed.
It's the whole fact. It's just the shutting down, like the shutdowns.
That's stupid.
And blocking off highways and roads to do donuts and reckless shit is what gives us all a bad stigma. And that's why the cops is like, well, they probably do the same thing. Their car looks the same. It sounds the same. They're probably out there doing the same thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Shout out to any cops that's watching. My tires cost way too much to me doing any burnouts.
Way too much.
Any burnouts whatsoever. So
Way
you
too
don't
much.
ever have to
Wasting
worry
money
about
over
me
here.
doing burnouts because it costs way too much money. And I'm in the industry. I can get it at wholesale and I still can't afford the tires. So you ain't gotta worry about me.
And my
That's
car
for
too.
sure.
My car too fragile, man. She stay broke, and I ain't trying to break nothing else. So I'm not doing none of that.
His car is like that wife you just can't please. She's a love-hate relationship.
Man,
She's a love-hate relationship all day.
always like Rico done worked on her before. She nothing but headaches. Always headaches. Like it never a smooth process.
Off subject, I spent 2.5 days wiring this car up. Perfect. Perfect. 2.5 days. Nothing but just me in the car. I'm talking to it, making sure she good.
Just like
everything
Gone in
good.
60 Seconds.
Just like Gone in 60 Seconds. 2.5 days. He comes while she's in the garage. I show her off to him. He was like, "Oh, you did your thing. This, that, and the third. Boom, boom, boom. Cranked it up. Everything good." As soon as she got on the other side of the garage door, she breaks. And I'm like,
Wow.
And he ain't lying. I was like,
I cannot make this up.
and I was like, Rico, you know what? I ain't even about to worry about it.
2.5 days. And I was like, it's you.
Yeah,
It's
it has
you.
to be. It has to be. But it is what it is. So
What can you do?
what can we do? But back to what the legal aspect. Is there any tips, tricks, or anything that you can give some of these car people out here?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, with the car community, and I've had clients within the car community and have been at meets and things like that. You just have to remember there's always maybe one bad apple out of the bunch in certain situations and whatnot. But just follow the rules. If the police come, it's no need to run and pick up extra charges, because what happens if the police come and, there's nothing illegal going on, you're not doing anything wrong, and you decide to just take off, right? That could be a fleeing and eluding police in that situation.
A good an example I like to use.
Yeah.
If y'all have kids, when it's time to give a whooping, right?
There you go.
If the kids run from you while you're trying to give a whooping, you're gonna get pissed off. You're gonna be even more mad. And when you finally catch them, that ass whooping gonna be 10 times
it's gonna
worse.
be worse.
So just put that in perspective when it comes to police.
And you can't get a better one than that one, bro.
That's
Look, that's spot on the money right there.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. But fleeing and eluding in Georgia, especially you have a misdemeanor and a felony as it
Right.
relates to that. In most situations, the cops are gonna try to put the felony on you,
course.
especially if you're speeding out, because they're gonna say, "Oh, reckless driving," right?
Endangerment to others.
There you go. So what that carries, and a lot of people don't understand this, they think that it's a slap on the wrist, but what that carries at the felony level is at least a year in jail or a $5,000 fine. And the only person that controls that, rather, as far as what the outcome is, it's not the judge, it's not your defense lawyer, it's a prosecutor.
Really?
So if the cops put that charge on you, then you're looking at one of two things: a year in jail or a $5,000 fine, or both in some situations as well.
That's a set of bags.
Absolutely.
Y'all trying to waste a set of bags?
Right.
Or
a
you
year
can't
in
drive
jail.
at that point because you ain't gonna get insurance.
That's true.
Ain't nobody gonna insure somebody with a
Absolutely.
felony driving record. Come on. Would
Absolutely.
you?
No, I wouldn't.
So insurance goes up, a lot of stuff goes up. So it's just not advisable to run, right?
It's not worth it.
Right. It's just not worth it. So
And we all know cop cars are slow.
absolutely. just get the ticket, you know, or if
Don't make
give
them.
you a
They
ticket,
already mad. Look, we all got police officers.
Yeah.
Name one police officer friend that you know said, man, my patrol car fastest.
None.
Right.
I can't.
But
name one.
we go 0 to 60 eventually. Like we get there.
We'll get there. So
Once we start rolling,
Right.
then it's time to roll.
We're
We're trying to
good.
get there? Nah,
Right.
bro.
Yeah.
Nah. So that's what it is, man.
Absolutely, man.
So before we wrap things up, you know, I know you are in the entertainment
Yeah.
portion of it as well.
Absolutely.
So with Atlanta being like the new Hollywood, I know business is like going crazy for you right now.
Yeah.
So from a lawyer's point of view, and I don't know what all entertainment lawyers do. Like I don't know if y'all look over contracts and things of that nature. Y'all kind of advise on not to do this and not to do that.
Absolutely.
So as a entertainment lawyer in the new Hollywood, what's the pros and cons that you see as far as what you do?
Black Hollywood.
Yeah, the pros and cons. I mean, the pros are, you know, work is plentiful. There's always something going on here. I mean, filming industry is booming. The music industry is booming. Atlanta has, you know, some of the top hip hop artists, you know, out there at this point.
Right.
Producers as well. You know, a lot of big name producers are from
ATL Jacob. ATL Jacob.
Absolutely.
Shout him out.
Shout out.
ATL Jacobs is a great producer. I had the opportunity to work with some people that are associated with him. Great kid, great guy.
Right.
Cool dude. Shout out to my guy 30 Rock, who
Yes, sir.
produced the box.
Oh,
Roddy
okay.
Ricch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Big shout out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's my guy, my brother. But nonetheless, I'm, you know, again, the pros are just as plentiful. It's a lot of work to do, and that's also the con because
There's a lot of work to
there's
do.
a lot of work to do. But filtering through the BS as it relates to that, you know, a lot of work because everybody and their mom wants to be an entertainer at this point because they see the opportunity. They see if I get on, I get a hot song or I get a good placement or whatever, I'm gonna, you know, make a lot of money. So everyone wants to, you know, be in the industry. So it's how do you weed that out? How do you know who's serious, who's not serious, things like that or whatever. So that's sort of the downside. It's just really oversaturated at this point as it relates to who's in, who's out, things like that.
No, for sure. So I hear this a lot, like, and the one group that I can think of is TLC. So like, is there times where I guess how like I hear their documentary and I see there and there's like, you know, we sold all these tracks and we sold, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars and sold out tours and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
But they getting checks for like $5,000 and $6,000.
That was crazy. That was a good documentary, though.
Yeah.
That was a good
Very,
documentary.
very good.
So how I look at it is how is the lawyers in on the deal or like how?
It could be, speaking of that, you know, TLC situation specifically, the record label essentially assigned them their lawyer, right?
Oh.
So there's a conflict of interest as it
Yeah,
relates to
yeah,
that inherently because that lawyer's
Is going to have the record label's best interest
right.
at heart.
The lawyer has the record label rather has the bit deeper pockets.
Of course.
So I want what the record label has,
Yeah.
or you know, 5% on $1 million is definitely a lot more than 5% on 100,000.
Of course.
So yeah, I want that 5% bag from the label. So that's a part of the issue. And a lot of the times, and it still happens today, unfortunately. I've had the opportunity, I don't want to say pleasure, but the opportunity to get people out of these types of deals because it's like, well, there's a conflict of interest, or you might have signed over your rights for $100 or $1 or something like that.
That's
it's
crazy.
like, how does that work? You know what I mean? But a lot of people, just for the opportunity to be famous, and again, that comes with the downside of things and whatnot, they sign over whatever because they trust, you know, people and don't seek their own lawyer or representation in that regard.
Gotcha. So kind of going off of what you just said, seek their own lawyer. Do you recommend having like multiple lawyers, or do you just put all your eggs in one basket and just hope and pray that one lawyer got your back?
It depends on what you're doing.
Okay.
Right. So, for instance, if I represent a record label and the record label, indie record label, signs an artist, and that artist is going to, you know, get a big deal from a major record label, who do you represent in that situation? Because it could be a conflict of interest. What if you do something that's beneficial for the artist, but the other client, the label, the indie label, they're not benefiting from it, right? So in that situation, you'll need another lawyer to come in and sort of assist and navigate and things like that, right? So yeah, it's advisable in certain situations or whatnot to have multiple lawyers, but definitely have that one lawyer that you trust and that you build a rapport with, right?
Makes sense.
And not just have someone that's handed to you.
Nah,
I mean, honestly, if I was in the business, that's what I would do. I wouldn't get all my own people. I wouldn't allow them to supply me to people. I want to get people that I trust, that I know that has my best interest. I mean, you would do the same, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
That's advisable.
You gotta stay lawyered up because, of course, everybody talks a good game until it's time to talk a good game. Facts. And oh, my lawyer, and you ain't got no lawyer,
right? Yeah.
Or are there some cases where contracts set up to where, like, okay, you gotta sign with this lawyer, or have you ever came across a contract where you're just like, bro, this contract is set up to just murk you?
Yeah, absolutely. So off camera, we joked about the word perpetuity, and that's essentially why I had a client. I'm not gonna say his name, so I'll keep that. But I had a client that was signing I believe it was either a publishing deal or a record deal, where he was gonna go with a small indie label to get gravitate to a bigger label. But essentially, that contract was in perpetuity. So they wanted this man to sign a lifetime contract, didn't want to give him any upfront money or anything along those lines. They would own all of his music and masters, and he would just essentially be creating music for them.
Man, hold on. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Irv Gotti. That's who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. And Ashanti. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, buddy. I know exactly what you're talking about.
was good too.
It is.
It's
It's some realness to it. But that's who he's talking about. He didn't want to put him out there, but I put him out there for you. Yeah, big time. He ain't said I said it. I did it. Now, if y'all come after me, I'm gonna go to him. Just letting y'all know right now. Y'all come after me, I'm going to him.
We ready.
Period, point blank.
Let's go.
But yeah, that's who that was, man. I was watching that documentary and I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the music industry, or the entertainment industry in general, is just cutthroat.
Big time.
It's cutthroat.
Big time.
And then it's funny because, like, I've had situations here where people, I'm going to sue you. Okay, let's go. I'm going to let my lawyer. Okay, well, you got a lawyer? Well, I tell you what, we can't talk no more. How about your lawyer contact my lawyer, and we see each other when we see each other?
Absolutely.
No, ain't no, don't get
Start stuttering.
And everybody quick to use that lawyer.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a scare tactic.
A lot of people are, but then you got some business owners that's like, bro, you ain't the only one that got a lawyer.
Yeah.
Do you really have a lawyer?
Right. And that's the
As a matter of fact, y'all remember the first episode I was talking about the chocolate in the back?
Yeah.
Durante sent him a letter. I ain't hear nothing else from that dude, man. I ain't hear nothing else from that man.
So you know about the chocolate situation.
Yeah, man, chocolate. Durante was like, so let me get this straight. You done had your truck in your possession for 6 months.
Right.
6 months. And now all of a sudden you realize that my client took your vehicle to the casino where there's no casinos around here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's some chocolate on your carpet.
Melted chocolate.
Melted chocolate.
Was it Hershey's?
He didn't go into
He didn't
specifics.
specify.
He did not specify. Was it the right one or the left one? But yeah, so it's
Wild still.
bro. Hey, listen, we have some. So it's be careful. Shout out to everybody out there who's thinking about suing somebody. And the reason why I shout y'all out, because y'all better have y'all A game on it.
Yep.
Because when you come to these folks and you trying to sue these people, please believe let's hope they strapped up. You try to come after me, I'm strapped.
Cross your
real.
T's and
Dot your I's.
Yeah, it is.
And you better bring some white out for the mistakes that you put on the paper, because we ain't playing games around here.
At all.
We ain't playing.
Read everything thoroughly.
I mean, thoroughly, twice, back, forward, different languages.
No doubt
Google Translate. Like,
All
don't
that.
try. Hey,
All that.
listen, I don't know Spanish, but Google do.
There you go.
Facts.
That's it.
All facts.
That is it. Man.
Boy. So now that was an interesting situation, man. But
That was crazy. I was scared. That was my first time ever being threatened.
Yeah,
I was scared shitless. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, bro. We got you. Bro, this man is trying to sue me.
Yeah.
I just got in business. I just got here. This is business.
And sometimes people will notice that too. Like, okay, this is a new business, small business. Yeah. What can they really do to defend themselves? Or they're going to be very scared and just, adhere to my demands. You know what I mean? So as a business owner or just as a person in general, if you know that you've done right, stand your ground.
Stand your ground.
Definitely. Hire a lawyer and, go about it.
Definitely learn. Definitely learn.
Yeah.
So, again, man, it's a pleasure for you to come in and drop this knowledge on these people. Hopefully they take this knowledge. If y'all don't, then that's shame on y'all. That is shame on y'all. But taking this knowledge and applying it to everyday life, because this world is getting crazier and crazier and crazier by the second. So the more knowledge that you can gain, the more knowledge that you know, the more education you can provide, then, go for it. So, again, man, tell them how to get in contact with you. Hold on, before you do that, don't be sending him no dumb requests, okay? This man is a legit lawyer. Like, he got people under him. Like, he's the top dog. Don't send him no requests where, oh, man, buddy sold me some fake shoes. Can I sue him? Bro, we ain't got time for that. Should did your research. You know good and well you can't get no off-whites for no $300. I don't care. It's not going to happen. Okay? So don't send him no request. Well, I saw you on the Lightroom podcast and you said contact you. Shoot, my baby mama, she won't let me back in the house.
Take her to Judge Judy.
Nah.
They cut a check on both sides too, Judge Judy.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They capping.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Reality TV.
Everyone gets paid.
Hey, shout out to Judge Judy, boy. She getting that check. Y'all see them studs that she be having in her head? Man.
She make money.
Facts.
Money.
Judge Judy's been on for 20-something years. But to contact me though, the law firm is Lions Den Legal. Phone number is 404-594-2970. I know people don't like to call places or whatnot, but the website is www.lionsdenlegal.com. You can fill out a questionnaire to have a consultation or ask questions of the firm, and we'll get back with you and go from there.
Durante, I appreciate you coming out,
no doubt,
rapping with us, man. We got to get you back on because, like I said, you cover so much.
We're done already?
Yeah, man, I know.
Like,
it's quick.
Like, we could talk for hours about
for hours and hours
so
and hours.
We'll be back.
For sure.
And before we go, he does have a podcast. Go ahead and shout it out.
Yeah, my podcast is That's Law. We're on all podcast platforms and whatnot as well. We are now gravitating more towards video and things like that or whatever, but you can catch the audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. So,
hey man, y'all gotta watch it because guess what? We gonna be on there.
Absolutely,
we coming. We gonna be there,
y'all.
Man,
and if y'all want them keys, them tips,
them
tricks to stay out of trouble, you might want to listen because we ain't have enough time out here. So but we want to thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. This Lightroom podcast, Swag Pack Shack,
Triple OG RDE.
And we got Durante in the building. So before y'all go, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, share, tell your mama, your daddy, your kids, they friends, everybody. Man, forget that. Tell your kids, teachers, and tell the teachers to tell the other teachers, and tell them teachers to tell those teachers. We want everybody because this is an educational experience. Yes, sir. We
all trying to go home. All just aside seriousness, we trying to go home. Yeah. So do what we need to do, educate ourselves, and let's do the dang thing. You already know what it is, man. We're going to catch y'all on the next one.